Hey everybody, this video is going to be quicker. This is for day 3, is for thread ply. And so for the sake of showing you, I've just got a ball of yarn here that was left over that's just single ply. It looks like it's a little thick and thin. You can use whatever type of yarn you want. So spin spin some yarn, like I said, woolen, worsted, however you want to spin it, thick, thin. Doesn't matter, your choice. And you'll probably have yours on a bobbin. So imagine your yarn on your bobbin. I, like I said, for the sake of making this before preschool, I'm just using some yarn I have laying around. So that's for the yarn part. For the thread part, I have lots of different things, but this is just, it's a stronger, like cotton nylon thread for sewing, and it's on this big spool. You can use, if you don't have any thread, you can, use, like, if you have a thick yarn, you could, and then like a thin yarn, like a mill spun, like fingering weight yarn or something. Just you want something thick and you want something thin, is pretty much what you're going for. But if you want to be official, use some thread. So let's see, what you're gonna do here is you're going to ply the two together. And anytime I've got just like a box. Anytime I'm plying either with a drop spindle or I've got like plying from balls instead of a bobbin, I just drop it in the box so that it's, not running away from me. So that's what I'm doing with that ball. If you're using a drop spindle, I also recommend, you would ply your yarn on the spindle and then you would roll it off the spindle into a ball, stick it in a little box like that. And so that's what you would do for a drop spindle too. For a wheel, you're probably going to have it just up on your Lazy Kate. I've got my thread, which I'm just going to put on my Lazy Kate. If you've got a, you could put a little spool of thread on your Lazy Kate, or you could put the thread in a box. So, you'll have to figure out kind of what is working best for your circumstance. But basically, you're going to take the yarn and the thread together. And some people, I don't think, tie a knot. I always tie a knot just because it makes me feel better. So I tie a knot in the two. And then, like I said, so your Lazy Kate and spindle versus wheel situation, you'll have to figure out what's best for you. But the idea is you get it set up where you've got the thread and the yarn together, and then you're just going to ply it. So I'm going to put this on my leader thread just like I would for a normal 2-ply. Just, fold it in like a sandwich. I'm going to put this on a medium whirl setting like I do anytime I'm generally starting something. Don't mess with that, Dee Dee. And so I'm just going to, you get the ply going, like I said, just like you would 2-ply yarn. And like I said, I've got kind of a yarn booger. Move, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, move.
I like to.
So all you're doing is, let me try to get this closer, is I'm 2-plying the yarn, and so as the thread cuts around the yarn, it makes like this cool twisty texture. So all I'm doing is just plying the yarn with the thread, and it makes kind of a twisty texture. You can experiment if you want with maybe holding the thread tighter, and you can let more yarn twist around it, and that gives it kind of a bumpier look. Or you can let it both go in at the same time. So it's really fun to experiment with how if you hold the thread longer, it might twist more and you get a bumpier look versus if you let both of them go in together. And, but it makes a really cool yarn. This is all thread ply. I just finished this yesterday, so you can see all the cool texture in it. I really like thread ply because it lets you take a single where you've got lots of yardage, and instead of plying it back on itself, you can ply it. It gets a cool texture without having to have extra fiber for plying or adding extra really bulk. So it's a really cool option. So that's what you do. Like I said, however you want to do it, you're just going to take thread and yarn and 2-ply it together, however that best works for you. So, happy spinning, everybody. And if you're in our Facebook group, please show me how it's going. And if you have any questions, let me know.